So let's finish the day off with another hand before I will go to bed. I'm quite tired already, to be brutally honest, but don't think I could fall asleep just yet. So today we are in the sixth diamond contract. There's no bidding by the opponents, alright? We only have a 7 card trump fit, which might be slightly worrying when we are in 6 diamonds. Perhaps 6 no trump would have been a better choice, I don't know. It would be difficult also. Okay, so although I normally don't do this, in this case, I reckon that this contract is actually, because we have so few trumps, this contract might be very close to just being a no trump contract. So I'm going to step out of the line now and start by counting winners, perhaps. So we have 5 winners in diamonds, 2 in spades, 1 in hearts, and 3 in clubs, which amounts to 11. So we need to find one more winner. If the club split 3-3, that's our winner right there, the last club. Now, is there any chance to rough out the heart suit, maybe? Remember that we can afford to lose one trick. We have 6 hearts, so hearts would need to split 4-3, I reckon, for that to have any chance. Well, if we decide on drawing trumps first, we only have at best two trumps remaining if they split 3-3 at the absolute best. So, yeah, we could win the ace, we could rough two hearts from dummy, I suppose. And then we could surrender a heart trick also, since we can afford one loser. And that would make our final heart in dummy good. So that's, I think it's a possibility, but we need to start roughing immediately, I reckon. So we need to win this with the ace, rough a heart first, cross to the king of diamonds. Rough another heart, draw the trumps. Cross to the ace of spades, surrender a heart trick. And then we still have the entry with the queen of clubs to cash the final heart. Yeah, so we just have enough entries to do that, meaning we should take every opportunity we have when dummy is at lead, so we should immediately return a heart and rough it. That's certainly one possibility. But it requires an awful lot of luck. Something which I would like to avoid. Because we need trumps to split 3-3. And we need hearts to split 4-3 for that to work. Most likely it's just better to draw trumps and count on the 3-3 split of the clubs. Or there might be actually a way to combine these two strategies. Although I'm not yet seeing how, to be honest, since if I win this, I need to win in order for the heart strategy to work. without the entries. I need to win this in dummy, and I need to pitch a hard trick. A rougher heart, I'd rather say. And then I need to start drawing the trumps. Yes, I can start. I can start by drawing one trump with the ace, perhaps, since the 8 in dummy isn't an entry anyways, but then I need to play the king, so I need to raise that entry, which also means I need to take the opportunity to ruff another heart, and then I've already used two of my valuable trumps. So I'm actually then relying on the 3-3 trump split. Which seems pretty bad. What I'm now thinking about actually is, can I duck this first trick? I mean, I will, in case of the hard strategy, part of the plan was also to lose a hard trick. So maybe I should just do it right now. Problem, of course, being that the ace of hearts now is no longer a dummy entry. And I think if the opponents return they will return anything else. Spades, for example, we win it with the king in hand. We draw 2 rounds of trumps, maybe ruff a heart. Or play the ace of hearts and then ruff a heart, because then we can already see whether this whole 4-3 in hearts materializes. Because we can change plans if it doesn't. That's at least worth a consideration, actually. But the question is, if the 4-3 materializes, does the strategy then work? And I think it still does. If I duck this trick, the opponents will not continue hearts. That will just help me. They will probably continue spades. I win it in hand. I draw 2 rounds of trumps ending in dummy. Now I'm in dummy. So I need to take the opportunity to play hearts whenever I'm in dummy. I will play the ace, pitch a spade, which is a loser anyway. Play another heart and ruff it. My trumps are high, so there's no risk of any over ruffs. And now I already see if the 4-3 materializes. The question just being now, what do I do if the 4-3 materializes? Because I need... Well, I duck the heart, I play the ace, and I ruff the heart. So I ruffed only once, actually. Important to note. So I can draw one more trump and see if the trump split materializes. And I still have another trump. So if the trump split doesn't materialize and trump split 4-2, I can draw the trumps still, and then still hope for the 3-3 club split, so that chance isn't gone, actually. And if the trumps do split 3-3, I can cross to the ace of spades, which is still there. That's important. I need to win the spade or the club return in hand, not in dummy, since I need both the spade and the club entry to dummy. I will cross to the ace of spades, and I already saw if the heart split 4-3 or not. So if they split 4-3, then I just ruff another heart, cross in the other black suit, and cash the final heart as a winner. Yes, that's good. So I think the correct call is to duck this and not win the ace, as counterintuitive as this might seem with South having a singleton. But remember, the ace isn't wasted at all. It's just instead of the heart loser, we now discard a spade loser on it. That spade is worth absolutely nothing. So I think that strategy is equivalent to just taking the ace immediately. And it has the benefit that we prolong the heart suit one trick longer, and therefore before we get rid of all of our trumps by ruffing, we can actually see how hearts split. Okay, so let's duck this. What does East? Returns a heart. I need to discard a spade, or do I need to? Do I need to ruff this? I think I need to discard, since if I now start ruffing, well, if I now ruff, I have to ruff next time as well. Because I can't play the ace in the third trick, that's even riskier. And then I already spent two of my trumps, and I'm in trouble if the trumps don't split, yeah. Okay, West doesn't have a singleton. Good, I was afraid. But alright, now we need to, I think, win the ace and also ruff a heart. Actually, the opponents gave us an extra dummy entry, so by returning hearts. That was actually nice of them, so I think we could actually afford to draw 2 rounds of trumps first, even. And then ruff the heart. We still have 2 entries to develop the heart suit in that case. So we are now actually wasting 1 dummy entry by returning trumps instead of hearts, but I think that's okay actually. The other strategy would of course just be to play the king of diamonds, but then not to continue trumps, but to ruff a heart and then draw trumps. I think they are both equivalently fine actually. Yeah, we can't get overruffed. Our trumps are high, so that's not a concern at all. So let's go for 2 rounds of trumps first. Why not? Okay, a 5-1 split was a possibility. Alright, that's unfortunate. So now roughing out the hearts isn't a possibility at all, because we need all of our trumps to draw west. So we can't even ruff a single heart right now. So that means, I mean, we are not lost yet. We can just return to hand in spades, draw the trumps and hope for 3-3 club split. That was the whole ordeal by ducking that first heart trick, that we didn't have to use that many ruffs so early. So if the trumps split badly, we could still draw them and fall back on the clubs. Maybe that's actually everything there is to this hand. I mean, perhaps I'm wrong. Probably I'm wrong, but I don't think we need to worry about hearts anymore right now. I can also pitch 1 club, that's useless. One heart is completely useless. East pitches are hard as well, but he started with 5. So don't really think there's anything to it. I need to draw the last trump, unfortunately. And now, I mean, I don't have any other chances now. This is just, well, perhaps I can test the clubs first. And maybe go back to spades, but, or hearts. Actually, might there be something there in terms of a double squeeze or something if clubs don't split? Maybe. Anyway, I need to play the clubs immediately. There's no point in doing anything else. So West plays a 10 jack, which suggests a doubleton. So I think both remaining clubs are with East. So should I have played a spade first? Because that would have put East in an awkward position, actually. Yeah, I think. Was spades ever part of the squeeze plan at all? Maybe I. Maybe I actually was too early in discarding the club. I'm sorry, I was a little careless about that club, I think, because there is no real spade threat. The only real threats are in hearts and clubs. So what happens if I don't discard the club from dummy? But if I discard just 2 rounds of hearts and then I already discarded that club early. Okay, that was discarding that club maybe not so good. Maybe just discard 2 rounds of hearts and a spade, perhaps. Okay, so trumps are drawn. And now I think that East might be out of spades. Now, how do I play the club suit? Because if I play 3 rounds of clubs, I might be pinned to either side. So I think I just might to play 2 rounds of clubs and then play the spade, perhaps. And hope that East on that spade is squeezed. Between hearts and clubs. He just turns up with a spade in that case. Okay, so there was some technicality here that we didn't do correctly, I guess. It's also the case actually that West could very well still hold the hearts. Yeah, not good. Alright, so I think I just messed this up in the end big time. I think the beginning was okay, but the end was surely not. I'm still gonna duck this. I like this a lot. And I'm still gonna discard my spade loser right now. Because why not? I mean, the chance of this getting roughed is very, very slim. So I don't want to ruff a heart right now. Important because then I just lose any 5-1 trump distribution. Is it at this point actually just better to go for 12 tricks? Like I can ruff 3 hearts for sure. And potentially a spade. If I start ruffing immediately. Like ruff a heart, cross, ruff a heart. But I need to play 2 rounds of clubs at some point. But can I actually get away with just 2 rounds and not 3 rounds of clubs? Because if I have to play 3 rounds of clubs, there's absolutely no point to this. Because then I just rely on the club splitting 3-3 in the first place. I could have had that from the get-go. Let's see, I can ruff 3 hearts with 3 high trumps. I can cross ones in trump. Okay, I will just, let's count it this way. I will just make 2 trump tricks in dummy. And I can ruff 4, 3 hearts and a spade. I make 2 natural spade tricks. So I make 2 trump tricks, 2 spade tricks, 4 ruffs, and maybe 2 club tricks. But that's just 10 tricks, and I have 1, so that's also only 11. I would need a 3rd club trick, and if I need a 3rd club trick, there's absolutely no point in cross-ruffing in the first place, unfortunately. Because I need to rely on club splitting 3-3, and I could have had that from the get-go. So there needs to be something about these squeezes in the end. The problem being that if trumps really split 5-1, and I can find that out just like I did last time by playing 2 rounds of trumps. Ending in dummy, because I don't need all the dummy entries anymore. But if I play 2 rounds of trumps ending in dummy, I see the 5-1 break. So now I can't continue developing hearts, unfortunately. Because I need all my trumps. So I need to just cross back to hand, maybe in clubs. Instead of spades, that would be a possibility also. At least that would leave me room for one more spade discard, I suppose. So returning to the hand in clubs, drawing all the trumps. Now I need to find 3 discards in North, but that's... Actually, I can just discard a spade and 2 hearts. I mean, I can't lose a heart trick ever again, so... It's enough if one opponent guards the hearts, unfortunately, at that point. The problem, I can't really isolate the heart guard. Because for that, I would need to play another round of hearts. I would need to ruff it. But then I waste 1 valuable trump from hand, and I no longer control the 5-1 distribution with that. My only chance then would be to set up some sort of a cross ruff. But is that really better? I mean, I could. I could Waffe hard now, cross to dummy, Waffe another. No, I could now just play Waffe hard and play 3 rounds of clubs, presumably. But that's way too dangerous. One of them will Waff the third club. That's completely inappropriate. I mean, my strategy in the previous attempt wasn't bad. It was just, there's just one little detail I'm not quite picking up on. Does it have something to do with a spade threat? It's hard to imagine. I guess both defendants are very well defending the spade suit. Just one of them needs to keep a heart, one of them needs to keep a spade, and the other one needs to keep all the clubs. So what I could do is play 2 rounds of trumps, cross to hand in spades, presumably. Draw all the trumps. Pitching 2 hearts and a club from dummy, I guess. So dummy still has a spade threat with the ace-5 and a heart threat. And I in south, of course, have the club threat. And now I could I need to see what has been discarded at this point, but I don't see the opponents under a ton of pressure, to be brutally honest. I can cross in clubs. Cross back in clubs and play a third round of clubs. One opponent will turn up with 4 clubs. That opponent can only have 1 other card. If it's East, that's probably the better scenario. Then West at least needs to make a discard on the third club. But he can still keep like 2 spades. So he can keep the spade stopper and East can keep the heart stopper. Well, but then maybe I then discard a spade and return in spades. Yeah, maybe that's worth a try. That's worth a try, actually. No, it's not. Since if I now cross back in spades, I'm completely stuck in dummy. That's not really a try. I somehow need to force West into a discard. It's overwhelmingly likely that East stops the club suit if West has the trumps. So East will abandon his spade stopper on my one of the trumps. I can't imagine him keeping on to his spade stopper. So West will be the one stopping spades. Should I return to handing clubs instead of spades? Does that yield anything for me? Then on the one of the trumps at least, I can discard 2 hearts and the other low club maybe. And now cross back to the queen of clubs. Maybe that's it. Cross back to the king of spades after that. But I'm in the same situation actually. I just play my third high club. Now it turns out that East has the stopper. And now I can't squeeze him with a spade anymore. I need to somehow still have a club in dummy. Just to get back after the spade squeeze. So let's think through this again. Draw 2 rounds of trumps. I see the 5-1 break, so developing the hearts is gone. Now I have to switch plans, and I switch to the king of spades, presumably. Draw the remaining trumps, and throw away 2 hearts and a club. I mean, that's pretty easy. Then I can cross to the queen of clubs. Maybe then play the ace of spades voluntarily. Because it might very well be that one opponent needs to make a pitch now. But if I play the ace of spades voluntarily, what does that do? I mean, the one opponent will keep this out of his clubs, and the other one just has to keep a heart and a spade. That's not difficult at all. And I can't, like if East turns up with the clubs, I can't squeeze West out of something, can I? If I play the third club, West will keep. Like I laid that out already, West will just keep his spade stopper, because he knows his partner stops clubs and cannot stop spades. But his partner can still stop hearts, because it only requires 1 card. So he will stop spades throw away his heart. Now he stops spades, so there's no point in keeping the spade. So I just pitch a spade. But now we're down to just 2 cards left. And I have a club and a spade. Dummy has a heart and a spade. But East has a heart and a club. And yeah, if I play spades to the ace, East keeps his heart. And my club also isn't high. That's pretty bad. I would actually like to have spade communication in both directions, but how can I keep that? I can crossing clubs and pitch a club into hearts, but that's actually just the same thing, I think. I could also play 2 rounds of clubs, maybe. Maybe that's it. Cross by 2 rounds of clubs. Because I need clubs to split 4-2, I think, at least. If they split 5-1, I don't see any real chance. If I cross back by 2 rounds of clubs, the queen now is gone, so at least I can pitch that for the final club safely, along with 2 hearts, 3 safe pitches. And now in the end, I will play, after drawing trumps, I play my final club order. West shows out and needs to pitch something. Probably a heart. Yeah. Yeah, West needs to get rid of his heart stopper, that's it. Because West needs to keep 3 spades to stop the spade suit. Because East stops clubs, so East cannot stop spades. Yeah, West needs to keep a spade stopper, and that means 3 spades in that case. Since the ace and king are both still present, that's the important bit. Yeah, I think I'll try that. That sounds good. So, I play my 2 rounds of trumps as before. If 2 rounds of trumps are followed, I will ruff a heart after that. And hope for a 4-3 in the hearts. But they won't. So now ruffing a heart is out of the question. And now I think I should just play 2 rounds of clubs and hope that 2 rounds of clubs hold. Apparently that's wrong. Okay. It was incredibly risky. I was just hoping at this point, but because that would really have improved my squeeze chances. So I can't do that, and I can't play 2 rounds of clubs. It has to lie here, right? It just has to. I also have to discard the spade since I need to keep the club threat. Obviously, that's a big threat. So crossing via 2 rounds of clubs is incorrect. Should I just draw trumps immediately? Forget about the hearts immediately? Is this whole heart thing actually a decoy? And did I just duck the first heart trick to basically rectify the count for a squeeze, which is also a reason to duck? Maybe I should just play the 5 trumps right now. And don't worry about any re-entering or roughing hearts. I can't develop the heart suit after that. But I'm not sure that matters. Since if I end drawing trumps in dummy, I'm a bit... So I can't ruff a heart right now, because then I lose trump control. So I think roughing a heart, I should give up on that, even it, though it is painful. But maybe just draw 5 rounds of trumps, and maybe actually the squeeze is more secure. Because then at least I don't have really a discard problem. I can discard 2 hearts and a club quite safely. And then play 3 rounds of clubs. West shows out, so he needs to have the spade stopper. Yeah. I should just go for the squeeze and forget about the hearts. I mean, it's hard, but... Oh, now they do split. Yeah, because I can't develop the heart suit anymore. So now the program lets me have a split trump distribution. Makes sense. I see what you did there. Don't think it really matters if I play the trumps first or the clubs. I mean, I want to play all winners because I want to squeeze, so I don't want to make a decision on spades yet. If I play the ace or the king first, I don't want to make that decision. Because the king of spades could potentially be a squeeze card against East, actually, I think. So can I now just continue the trumps? There goes another heart, there goes another spade, alright. Now I wanted to play 3 rounds of clubs and see how the clubs break. And now if West discards, I look what? Oh, West, now West is the one stopping clubs. So there is a combination I haven't seen yet. Because now surely that heart is no good, right? And now East can pitch his heart too. East keeps a club. And if I play a spade, he still keeps a club, I imagine, yes. So West is now stopping the spade suit, I think. Yeah, or East. It doesn't matter even. I mean, we're ever so close, but I'm just, there is one combination of all this that I'm not really seeing, and it bugs me to no end. So I want to still be able after 2 rounds of trumps to switch back to the hard strategy, maybe. If two rounds of trumps hold. But I can't rough a heart. That's out of the picture. So if I play 2 rounds of top, I need to decide where to end. Is there some merit to playing like the king from north on the second trump trick? But how would that even materialize? Because if the 8 and 9 were swapped, I would see it. I would just play the 9 first, duck with the 8, and then play the king. And if East then shows out, then I can switch plans. But this way, I'm pretty sure that is actually roughing out a heart still part of the squeeze plan? That keeps me thinking. I don't have enough entries to develop hearts. After drawing 2 rounds of trumps. But maybe I should keep a second heart and play one squeeze trick rather differently, maybe by roughing a heart. Yeah, I think I wasn't very careful in that. So that's okay. So now the trumps do split. I draw them. I can now discard 1 heart safely. So I think I can follow up with 1 more round of trump, discarding a club. So I force some more pressure on the opponents. That can't hurt, since I can only use 1 of my trumps to begin with. So they go a heart and a spade, and now I don't continue trumps, but I switch to the queen of clubs. And I return a heart. And rough this one, instead of just playing the trump. West already pitched a heart? Yeah, so now I know that East most definitely has the heart stopper. There's only 1 heart remaining, and it's with East. Playing clubs doesn't bring me all that much now. Maybe just play 2 rounds of spades ending in dummy is now the right call. But West could still be the one stopping clubs actually. And East could just stop hearts and spades. But I need a club return back to hand. I don't think that I can play this. So 2 rounds of spades, alright. But what did that do? I mean the spade surely isn't high yet. And E stops the heart suit. The spade surely isn't high, eh? Yeah, no it's not. So E stops the hearts and the spades, and presumably West stops the clubs then. Yeah, West stops the clubs. And we are down again. I will give it 1 more try, even though I'm failing miserably and I know it. Pitch a spade. I mean, this cannot be wrong, possibly. Don't really think so. There's one detail I'm just not picking up on. I mean, I have very much flexibility in the trump suit, but the one thing I can't do in trumps is actually the thing I would like to do, which is to lead the king on the second trump trick. Because then I could see if East discards before I make any decision whether to overtake the king or not. It's the one thing that's not possible. Without wasting a dummy entry. And if I waste a dummy entry, the hard rough strategy is completely out of the books. So there is a 5-1 distribution possible. Yeah, the only way to draw 2 rounds of trumps even is to still keep the hard roughing strategy open. Is to just play 2 rounds of trumps ending in dummy. Because then I'm at least in dummy to start the hard roughing process yet. And then I have just enough entries. But in that case, the 5-1 split materializes. I can't play enough clubs, unfortunately. I mean, it's all ever so close, these various squeezes. So was drawing the last trump incorrect afterwards, or like? Should I have just switched to dummy and switch to dummy maybe with 2 instead of 1 round of clubs? And then rough the hard back, and then play the final trump from hand, maybe? To look for West's discard. Well, it will be a spade. If I play 3 rounds of trumps, drawing all the trumps, and I just pitch a heart, that's fine. Because I don't have enough entries to reach all 3 hearts anyway. Now I don't play a 4th trump, but I instead play 2 rounds of clubs, ending in dummy. I can ruff a heart back. And now play my final trump from hand. At this point, I will have learned that East is the only one guarding hearts. Pretty sure of that. So on the last trump, West needs to come down to 4 cards. So his discard on the last trump will be a spade, I assume. I can discard my club safely. And East will discard let's see, 2 rounds of clubs have been played, so I have 2 clubs remaining. The problem is that East is totally sitting behind. East is totally sitting behind North, so on that last trump, West will stop the clubs and let go of his spade stopper. North lets go of his club. And East can let go of one more card since there's 4 cards remaining, so he can keep 3 spades and a heart. And yes, if I now play my final high club, he would be squeezed. The problem is just that I'm squeezed right before him. So I need to keep that 3rd club in dummy. So after 3 rounds of trumps, should I switch to dummy with 3 rounds of clubs? Because if I switch with 3 rounds of clubs, now at least I still have a spade entry, and I'm dead certain now who stops the clubs. It's West, presumably. So 3 rounds of trumps, 3 rounds of clubs, ruff a heart. Can totally do that. Now I play my last trump, I suppose, and now everybody needs to come down to only 3 cards. West still has to keep a club, so he has to let go his spade stopper, but now I don't have a discard from North, and again he needs to unfortunately make his discard before East. So what about not ruffing hearts, but playing a 4th round of trumps, discard the 2nd heart, play 2 rounds of clubs ending in dummy, and play the 3rd club back from dummy. Does that have any merit? Because that forces a discard out of East as well. What will he discard at this point? I cannot discard his last heart, obviously. So he will keep, just like dummy, he will just copy dummy and keep 3 spades and a heart. And still, I'm in the same predicament. I'm squeezed in north right before he is squeezed. Or she. I keep calling the opponents by their masculine pronoun. I really should not do that. Every time, I guess. It's also not really appropriate because there are a lot of mixed couples in bridge. Probably the majority, I would even say. I'm not seeing it, guys. I'm sorry. It's getting late here. There, I see the idea, but there's... Yeah, I ducked the first trick. I did that from the get-go. Yeah, yeah, if we want to establish a second Hartwig, which I would have done if Trump's didn't split 5-1. If they just split 4-2, I would have made my second Hartwig after drawing 2 rounds of Trumps. And if the 2 rounds of Trumps held, I would rough a heart, draw the remaining Trumps. No, only 3-3, obviously, but still, I could at least try it. If I could rough a heart, draw 1 more round of Trumps and see if they split 3-3. If they do, great. I cross to dummy in spades, rough the last heart, rough the second to last heart, crossing clubs, and the final heart is good. Yeah. A squeeze is also reliant. Yeah, we discard a spade. I mean, those first 2 tricks were completely obvious to me. Draw 2 rounds of trumps, ending with the king, which is everything I did. Everything I did in my very first try. If both defenders follow, I could easily rough a heart because I know I still have trump control at this point. Rough a heart, draw 1 more round of trumps, and if there is a 3-3 split in trumps, I'm there. Because then I can cross to dummy, rough the second to last heart, cross to dummy again, and the final heart in dummy will be the 12th trick. And if 3 trumps don't split, I'm also taking no risks yet, since I can just draw the last trump, abandon the hard plan, and just go for either a 3-3 club break or some sort of squeeze or anything else. When diamonds are 3-3 and hearts are 4-3, yeah, we have the 12th trick in hearts. We don't need clubs anymore. But now what happens in the 5-1 case? That either clubs are 3-3, yeah, they won't be, but of course, if clubs are 3-3, we are still safe. I mean, that option of the clubs just splitting never goes away. We cross in spades, and this is everything I did on the very first try. I draw the trumps, I pitch 2 hearts and a club, What did I miss here? I mean, this is embarrassing. But they didn't say anything about this? Wait a second. What? I mean, West can easily guard both hearts and spades, right? To avoid his partner being squeezed. What? Okay, there's a spade discard, so I have to abandon the plan. With the hearts, I cross in spades to keep all my club options open. I draw the trumps, discarding two hearts and a club. There goes a heart. There goes a spade. Maybe test the clubs first. Because a free break would relieve me of all my struggles. So there's East. I know now that East has the club card. But how are spades good now? What? What? I mean, this could have been over after 5 minutes, this video. This could have been over after. Because this was my very first try. But how is this any different? Why did West control? If East guards the club suit, why doesn't West guard spades? Yeah, because he doesn't have it, obviously. But in our tries, which we executed with drawing the trumps and setting up squeezes, they always controlled it. They always it was always the case that one opponent controlled clubs and the other one controls both spades and hearts. And in this particular hand, all of a sudden, West doesn't controls neither clubs nor spades from the get-go. I mean, we didn't need to squeeze for that. He just didn't control either black suit from the beginning. I'm not really understanding this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I mean, I'm understanding the plan, of course, but I have to be honest. I'm not really understanding how this is different from anything I've tried in setting up squeezes. All right. Quite unsatisfactory video. Please. I should write a disclaimer. Don't bother watching this shit. Okay, have a good night.